Transformative education happens not just in classrooms, laboratories, and libraries.
Throughout the university's history, our gymnasiums and playing fields have been the sites of wins and losses, but also of lifelong friendships formed and lifetime lessons learned.
If I could send a message to the donors, I'd thank them for everything, because I do everything that I do on this court because of them. I'm able to use these facilities to the best of my ability, and I'm able to do well in sports and academics because of them.
Pioneers of Carroll University facing off against your Elmhurst University Blue Jays. Now let's meet today's starters. First, for the visiting Pioneers, led by head coach Gabe Perlman. On the face-off, a senior from Wakanda, Illinois, number 1, Jake Wright. In goal, a senior from Huntley, Illinois, number 2, Jake Gell. In the defense, a senior from Villa Park, Illinois, number 9, Brady Raskowski. In the defense, a senior from Mount Prospect, Illinois, number 11, Sam Nagoon. In the midfield, a sophomore from Oak Forest, Illinois, number 12, Declan McMahon. In the midfield, a junior from McHenry, Illinois, number 16, KJ Faybauer. In the attack, a senior from Huntley, Illinois, number 33, Ethan Phillips. In the defense, a freshman from Huntley, Illinois, number 77, Kelly Gassner. In the attack, a junior from Middleton, Wisconsin, number 79, Brady Conwell. And in the attack, a junior from Algonquin, Illinois, number 97, Nick White. And now, the starting lineup for your Elmhurst University Blue Jays. In the midfield, a sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, number 1, Aiden Gowell. In the attack, a senior from Snoqualmie, Washington, number 2, Eli Spence. In the midfield, a senior from Cottage Grove, Minnesota, number 10, Tony Vasquez. In the midfield, a senior from Shoreline, Washington, number 11, Max Reidenauer. In goal, a senior from Dublin, Ohio, number 12, Andrew Laxonen. In the attack, a sophomore from Dublin, Ohio, number 21, Brent Deal. In the defense, a junior from Snoqualmie, Washington, number 24, Gabe Henry. In the defense, a senior from Monticello, Minnesota, number 41, Matt Kushel. In the attack, a junior from Saratoga Springs, Utah, number 43, Hunter Hernandez. And in the defense, a freshman from Dublin, Ohio, number 55, Gus Vossman. The Blue Jays are led by head coach Mark Morrell. He's assisted by David Castaneda and Ethan Stefanik.
Langhorse Field here on the campus of Elmhurst University in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois. is your site for this men's lacrosse CCIW conference opener between the Elmhurst Blue Jays and the Carroll Pioneers. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Easter weekend to you. I'm Mike Fleischman. Luke Jordan along with me. Producer Bill from Suncom.tv. Handling all the X's and O's and the 1s and 2s this afternoon. The 8-2 Blue Jays open conference play against the 3-8 Carroll Pioneers. The first half of this doubleheader, the women's match went 16-2 in favor of the Pioneers, and the Blue Jays are looking for a little revenge. Quickly out of the pocket of Brent Deal goes that ball over to the far side. As we are underway, the Blue Jays will waste no time, Luke Jordan, as they look for win number 9 on the season.
Yeah, absolutely not. Quick play out of transition there off the face-off. Tony Vasquez, he's got to win a lot of face-offs today for Elmhurst to feel good about their possession, and from here, they're either going to go straight into it or they're going to take their time, like you're starting to see now with Sam Hoff down low.
Player to watch wearing number 2. He scoops it up on the near side. That's Eli Spence, 4-time player of the week for the Elmhurst Blue Jays in men's lacrosse. Nice feed. That is deflected on defense there by Matthew Hare for the Carroll Pioneers. That shot coming out from Sam Hoff on the near side for Elmhurst. Ground ball pickup to Sam Magoon, and the defender will try to flip it forward. Nearly intercepted, and now they'll keep the transition going, will the Pioneers. Had a steam for K-Favor. Over to the far side, he'll find Brady Conwell.
That was a really nice first defensive stand from the Pioneers. It looked like the Blue Jays are about to score in single-digit seconds to open up this game. Carroll holds their ground. Now they get to settle down for their first true offensive possession. Brady Conwell, of course, he is going to be a man to watch out, holding the ball right now and giving it off. But boy, has he been great for these Pioneers. Multiple points in 8 straight games for a Carroll offense that has needed some help.
12 goals and 18 assists on the year for Conwell, wearing 7-9. Patience for Carroll now releasing. It is Luke Bridges. Bridges will go back up top for Ethan Phillips. Phillips on the drive, tries the one bounce, and our first save of the game. Let's talk about the keeper matchup. It's Andrew Laxonen, reigning player of the week for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. 9.36 goals against average for him. And he is working today against Jake Gell, the keeper, in his 8th game for the Pioneers, allowing 13.85 a game. Beautiful turn and shot, and that will be Eli Spence getting things started for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. The sun has come out and a little bit of glare on our camera picture. There we go.
And a look at the goal here from Spence on this sunny Saturday. Spence just turns, fires. He can shoot from any angle possible. And Jake Gale's got to be ready for those types of shots, and he's got to be ready for a heavy workload. Talk about 42 saves over the last 180 minutes of action for him. Expect plenty more from a dominant, nearly nationally ranked Jays offense. Another face-off win there.
Eli Spence, that really is his game in a nutshell. Shot fired in that time by Tendo Tom Gooding for Elmhurst. But Spence, on that far side, had hardly any angle to work with. Great feed, Spence trying to find the cutter. And it's wide a little bit of Deal, who will try to chase it down. Checking from behind is Sam Magoon, and it will be Magoon sending it back to their keeper, Gell. Gell out of Huntley, Illinois, a local product playing college lacrosse, easy for me to say, up in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
I'm very curious if I ever actually played against him. I played lacrosse in high school my freshman and sophomore year, and we played against Huntley my sophomore year, so maybe things aligned. He would have been a senior, so heck, I think I took a shot on him. And I scored, pretty sure. Cool little connection. Huntley's got a great program out in the western suburbs.
Scooped up on the far side. Eli Spence will go to work. Good connection on the near to Deal. Brent Deal back to the right. Draws the defense out, now back behind the net. Taking a look through some contact, shooting and scoring is Hunter Hernandez. 18th on the season for the junior out of Westlake High School from Saratoga Springs, Utah. That's just foot speed right there, and good timing on the release for Hernandez.
Hunter Hernandez has been confident and consistent. He has gotten a goal in every single appearance. He came into this lineup later in the season against Aurora. Did not play the first few games, but boy, did they miss him, and do they appreciate his presence back in the lineup. Really just deepening this attack for Elmhurst. You never know who's going to score. Of course, you got Spence, but heck, you even got Tom Gooding.
Another turn by Hernandez, and that will roll over the back line.
I'm partially joking about that. Tom Gooding, of course, not a part of the attacking crew, but he's already gotten 2 decent opportunities in this one as a long pull, as there's another.
So the Elmhurst Blue Jays are off to a quick start here. Everything flashing right in front of Jake Gell right now.
Elmhurst goal by number 21.
I give the Pioneers credit. They really held their own first couple of minutes, first couple of stands, really, and then after those first 2, it just has been all Jays since then. They're wrapping around from X, and once again, no care. No regard for that angle. They know they can slip it by Gale if they just get high velocity on these shots, and that's what they've been doing.
Cole Phillips, a junior midfielder out of Woodbury, Minnesota, wearing double 8s for the Pioneers in orange. Over the line it will go, and restarting it will be Brent Deal. Deal out of Kaufman High School from beautiful Dublin, Ohio. Teammates with his high school teammate Kyle Taylor, who wears 22 and has 11 goals on the year for these Blue Jays. Bouncer, and Gell will deflect that wide over the far side.
Got Spence down low with a lot of space now. Screen coming in right side. He's got a short stick on him. Might try to take advantage of this. Now he's got 2. And that's how they'll usually guard number 2.
Spence back up top for Hoff. In the middle and relocated off his position is Charlie Ferry.
That's a really nice ground ball by Ferry as he gets pinballed around.
In it goes, and another quick goal. Wearing number 28, that's Landon Davis, the sophomore out of Friendswood, Texas. And quickly, it's 4-0 Elmhurst. So the Blue Jays ready to start CCIW conference play here today. Just a strong drive and shooting from distance is Landon Davis, his 11th of the year.
It's a CCIW slate that Elmhurst really needs this year. You had last year, they were so close to beating Illinois Wesleyan in not only the regular season, but of course the conference championship game. This is an opponent in Carroll that will be one of your easier opponents, but you want to take advantage of that, and boy, are they.
Oh my goodness, Josh Brandt just working on the left side. Brandt, the senior out of Bloomington, Michigan, and right now Elmhurst is just putting the sauce on it. Timeout on the field with 9:51 left here in the first, and it is already out of control in favor of the Blue Jays. We'll step away for a quick break. We'll come on back. 5-0 Elmhurst over Carroll on the CCIW network, powered by Suncom.
I transferred here from College of DuPage. Transferring to Elmhurst from COD has been amazing. It's just such an easy process. Just getting the paperwork done, making sure you have all your credits. It was really important to me too, just because I'm the first in my family to go to college in the United States. So they made sure that I have everything that I need to make sure that I do succeed here. The advice I would give to fellow community college students would be to come visit the campus. There's always students here that know the life and everything that's going on around here. And also plan out your next move with the counselors. What classes you want to take at Elmhurst, or maybe if the better move is to stay and get a couple classes done and then transfer. Really, the counselors are amazing because they're your, one-stop shop to making sure you get everything done in order to succeed at Elmhurst. You come in here and it just feels really comfortable, and you just feel like you're reaching a really great goal in your life.
Mike and Luke back with you here, CCIW Network, powered by Suncom, Blue Jay TV. Glad to have you with us. Happy Easter weekend to all of you. I've got some Easter plans kind of taking shape. Busy time of the year. Chatting a bit about that with the folks at home during the women's game. We've got lots going on around the household, kind of making some last-minute plans for Easter. The Elmhurst Blue Jays are looking to get off to a hot start here and maybe get home to some Easter plans themselves. 5-0 with 9:40 left in the first quarter, and we've gotten a look at pretty much everything that Elmhurst wants to do on offense in the first 5 minutes and change of this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just becomes an isolation ball. You got guys who know they can take advantage of their matchups, and it's becoming killer right now. That's Nolan Snyder who's taking the face-off there, the freshman for Carroll. You do not see him in too often.
That was against Donovan Meters, a junior out of West Chicago for Elmhurst, as the Blue Jays go right back to work.
Yeah, battle of backups there, and you might get a couple more of those if this game gets farther apart, just giving reps for each side. You know, Gabe Perlman, Mark Morrell will be looking to do that.
Coach Perlman in year number 2 as the head coach of the Pioneers. And meanwhile, Mark Morrell, year number 14 for Elmhurst, as coach looks for win number 107 on the season in terms for the Blue Jays. And meanwhile, Coach Perlman 8-17 overall in his second year with the Pioneers.
I do like what Perlman has done, though. He led Carroll to the best start in program history last year. They started 3-0. And, you know, he's had 2 different positions at schools that have needed upbringing. They've needed growth, and he's really starting to deliver that to Carroll. So while the present isn't the greatest for them, there is a future if he stays and keeps doing what he's doing, because they're going to slowly get better year by year.
Tendo Tom Gooding, a freshman, making his presence felt. He's out of San Diego, California, bringing a physical approach here to Elmhurst, Illinois on a overcast Saturday afternoon. It is really perfect weather for lacrosse. All the serious weather stayed to the east of us more in the early part of the day. It is cool but not cold, breezy but not windy out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when you wear equipment like this and play outdoors, this is the weather as a former lacrosse player that you desire, because you're not sweating up a storm. The breeze in your face feels nice, so yeah, no complaints.
Joe Latour keeping away from the defense. Stepping left and then passing back behind the net as Spence. Turning and firing and scoring once again. Hunter Hernandez, his second of the day. 6-0 Elmhurst.
Yeah, just a tough sequence there. Matthew Hare, the senior from Ames, Iowa, for Carroll, just could not get a step. Hernandez is able to burst right by him from Mexico. Watch it here. He switches hands to the left, and from then on is just straight acceleration, even while he turns his hips and fires it home.
So Hernandez has a couple for Hunter Hernandez, now 19 on the year to go, along with 3 assists. That draw won by Vasquez. Spence takes a look again. Eli Spence gives you the opportunity as an opposing coach to decide how much of the defense you want to commit to the sort of consensus best player on the opposing side for the Blue Jays. Are you going to commit to him and open up his capable teammates, or are you going to try and guard him one-on-one and try to take away some of the other options for the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, it is really tough. You're fighting a 3-4-headed dragon when it comes to this Blue Jays offense, and it's showing.
Luke Bridges.
Nice swim dodge there.
He's working through some rush hour traffic on the far side, working past Matt Kushel. As with any team who has found themselves in a sizable deficit early, Carroll is just trying to string a few good things together and see if it can turn into a couple of good shooting opportunities and a chance to see that number on the scoreboard turn off of 0. Back we come for Bridges. Deflected off the far side, and it will stay with the Pios.
Yeah, don't mind that try there for Bridges. He might want to get in a little bit closer.
Spin move, and that's scooped up and taken away as Andrew Laxonen is right there for it. That came out of the pocket of Declan McMahon. 3 goals on the season for the sophomore. Maybe he has some hometown fans here. He's out of Oak Forest. Here we go for Ethan Phillips. And Ethan Phillips, that is a bull in a China shot maneuver right there for Phillips as he scores his 13th of the year.
That was an all-around great sequence from Ethan Phillips. He cuts off the clearing pass from Laxonen, and then as you're going to see here, he just comes the other way. You've got Laxonen backpedaling, trying to locate where he is in that net, and he's stepping out a little bit too far, so it's hard to play that bouncer. But man, really nice highlight reel sequence for Phillips, another Huntley native on this roster.
Pioneers were looking for something to fire up the bench a little bit as Phillips delivers their first. 6', 210 for Phillips, who did a good job there using that size to just get his shoulders in front of the defense, give him the ability to flip that stick downward on the shot. Answering right back. How about that for Brent Deal? Deal with that lateral movement to his left, and it's 7-1 Elmhurst.
Man, I feel scared to even talk when Elmhurst has the ball because I feel like I'm going to rob you of a goal call, right? I mean, that's now 7 goals on 8 on frame. I mean, Jake Gale just trying to keep up with the speed. I mean, Carroll has gone up against Hope Kalamazoo College the last 2 games. Those 2 teams are no Elmhurst offense. Hope has a really good defense, and Hope actually beat this Elmhurst team back here a couple of weeks ago. But when Elmhurst is playing at their ceiling like they are right now in the early goings of this one, they are so tough to stop.
Blue Jays 123 for 92 against through non-conference play coming into today's action. Deal will take a look, flip it far side. Here's Ferry. Ferry fires, and Gell has got that one diagnosed.
Yeah, that's nice to get your rhythm back for a goalkeeper, just getting your stick aligned with that ball, getting that sigh of relief, and now you might expect a couple of nice saves down the road here for Gale now that he's tracking it down.
The senior defender, Razkowski, gets it out of his pocket to DePhillips. DePhillips, the senior out of Roselle. Now Conwell. Conwell wide for Kaposis. And that's no problem for Laxonen.
That one's maybe going a hair wide, but Laxonen says, why not? Just keep it going and play as they try to clear. And once again, it's been a really nice ride so far for Carroll as they've been interrupting clears. Almost found Phillips again.
Conwell was trying to put it up there for Phillips. Now a little transition on the other side as Kushel will push it forward. Spence looks left, goes right. This one on the ground and into the pocket of double sevens, Kelly Gassner. Gassner, the freshman, one of this Huntley contingent on the Pios.
You can tell that Gabe Perlman definitely has a pipeline with those Huntley players, and why not from a school like that in Illinois? I think they're one of the more underrated programs overall in the state of Illinois. That's a failure. They couldn't get over midfield in time.
That was Nick White, 97 for Carroll, and the defense right in that center circle for Elmhurst. Nowhere to go for him. Here's Spence. Spence for goal. Back up top we go. The shot and the save for Gell. That was ripped in from Spence. Good save by Gell. You just see every time that ball comes out of the pocket for Spence, it is snapping.
I don't know if you caught that either, Mike. They were running a 10-man ride. Andrew Laxonen was out of his net.
Spence loads it up. That's deflected wide by Gell.
I'm very concerned to why Elmhurst did that. I don't know if they're just trying to experiment. Watch again. Laxonen's going to come near side, and that net is wide open if Carroll wants to try to huck it from distance. You don't see it too often, but when you're down by this margin, why not give it a shot? Quite literally.
Razkowski has got Spence in his kitchen. A little behind the back flip forward. And dropping back on defense, double fives, Gus Mossman for the Blue Jays. Mossman, a freshman out of Kaufman High School. That Huntley connection for the Pioneers. How about the Kaufman High School connection for the Blue Jays?
Even two with neighboring numbers.
Might give you a very easy decision as to who is going to be your college roommate.
Right.
If you are going to the same university as multiple of your high school teammates. Turning and firing. That looked like a little bit high from Hernandez, who's already got 2 on the day.
Yeah, not to speak personal, but yeah, having that bond from high school and the college really has to be something else.
Latour puts it back up top. We'll go wide. Latour again. Elmhurst, no need to hurry. Great move. Fantastic effort right there. Landon Davis has 2 on the day now.
I mean, whether it makes it whether it makes it a 7-goal lead or not, that is one of the prettier goals I've seen this season. Like, just gets the separation, shake and bake. That's quick footwork, goes low to high, shot release, top right corner, off stick side of Jake Gale. That was disgusting.
Keegan Phillips left in the dust on that move.
Got a hold there on Elmhurst on the faceoff, so that's a win to Carroll's behalf. That's their second win of this one, as Elmhurst has 8. I mean, that dot's going to really be the Blue Jays to take today, and then how about that near takeaway by Henry now battling for this ground ball.
DeAngelis and Bridges in on the fly for the Pioneers. Nice move, goal line extended. We'll go back up top from Molson. Here's DeAngelis just into the game. Back for Phillips. Phillips tries that power approach once again, put a defender on his left shoulder and pulled the trigger. That's turned away. Here come the Blue Jays. The quickness of deal, that pass is a little bit too tall for everybody. 1:05 left first quarter, 8-1 Blue Jays.
Yeah, no matter the score, Mark Morrell is going to be frustrated at the end of this quarter with his guys. That's now 7 turnovers for the Blue Jays, equivalent to how many the Pioneers have suffered. Everything's been good today for Elmhurst except ball discipline. Some passes going off wire.
That comes free from Declan McMahon. And the turnover margin is back into the favor of the Blue Jays. How about Eli Spence? Spence gets wide in transition. Defense is not back and set up. Spence versus the keeper. Advantage Spence.
Elmhurst goal for number 2, Eli Spence.
That release is just,
by number 21, Brent Deal.
You simply can't blink. He goes sidearm, top shelf. Something Elmhurst has done really well today and all throughout this season. They'll shoot from either sidearm or low angle, but then it's going right up top. So it just removes that extra half, maybe even quarter second to think about where it's truly going to go for Jake Gale. When you think it's going to go middle of the net, maybe even lower, instead it is right up above your shoulder. I've never played goalie, but I don't think it'd be fun to stand in front of Eli Spence today the way that he is whipping that ball.
Oh, look, I say it all the time, regardless of the sport. Goalie is not for the faint of heart, and that's Eli Spence showing you why.
I mean, even from that distance, no thank you. That's why I played attack. Stay on the scoring side, because if I had this guy shooting in front of me, I'd be flinching every time.
Elmhurst goal by number 2, Eli Spence.
We were enjoying a little bit of lunch with a little turkey sandwich, spicy chipotle mayo. That's what Eli Spence has going right now, is those shots come out
Did you not
spicy.
save one for me?
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. I'm going to have to give Greg a word about that. It's a workplace violation to not give me some lunch.
My producer on baseball yesterday comes right on in with a fresh hamburger, load of fries, and I'm saying, well, where's mine? He's like, didn't know you wanted one. Like, well, just assume that I always do.
It's frustrating. Whenever I do basketball for Lewis, a D2 school, is a timeout called. They have all this food and all this stuff, but you're on the air practically the whole time. You get little 2-minute breaks, so you can't run and get food, and it's stressful. But we'll continue the food talk later, right?
First quarter has come to an end. It is 10-1 Elmhurst over the Carroll Pioneers. CCIW Conference Opener, and you're with us right here on the CCIW Network, powered by Suncom.
The online ABSN nursing program allowed me a lot of flexibility in my schedule. And as an adult learner, that's important to me. One of my favorite parts of this program was the lab simulation and the clinical rotations. The preceptors we had were absolutely phenomenal role models, and those nurses took the time to walk us through the procedures, the equipment, and the nursing care that those patients needed. And we were able to see the impact of our role as nursing students affect those patients in a positive way. My classmates were phenomenal. They were absolutely fantastic, intelligent, hardworking people that brought extremely variable experience to the table. We really bonded as a group, and we made some very close friendships. My professors and preceptors have helped me identify my strengths and where I would be a good fit in the nursing profession, because there's so many possibilities in nursing. The impact I hope to have as a nurse is to educate my patients on how to be healthy and help them manage their chronic illnesses or even prevent those illnesses from occurring. Nursing is definitely a calling, because nursing is a healing profession. Nurses make the special connection with their patients in order to support them through some of the most difficult times of their life. I believe that we are lifetime learners. We need to be learning constantly. And as nurses, we need to be learning because we need to update our knowledge continuously and bring our best foot forward for the benefit of our patients.
The 11th meeting between the Blue Jays and the Pioneers has started 10-1 in favor of the Elmhurst Blue Jays after the first 15 minutes. Mike and Luke hanging out with you here on this cool and breezy Saturday afternoon. Mark Morrell has gotten off to a great start here with the Elmhurst Blue Jays in his 14th season. The all-time series is 10-0 in favor of the Blue Jays against these Pioneers, and game number 11 is going well too. Here's the keeper Laxonen out once again, far from the crease as he tries to help it forward. Kushel puts the ball a little bit too far over off the near side, and so the Pioneers will go to work. And that was nearly turned right back over, and it is, as Sam Magoon just could not go anywhere with the ball. Back up top we go as Tom Gooding is setting up the offense. Hernandez back for Tom Gooding, who will take a look and distribute wide for Eli Spence. 3 goals and an assist for Spence in the first quarter. Business as usual for the 4-time CCIW Men's Lacrosse Player of the Week. The Blue Jays, through non-conference play, if I'm not mistaken, have 5 of the 6 Player of the Week awards, with Laxonen owning the most recent one.
That sounds about right. They've had some really good non-conference games against some tough non-conference opponents.
Spence with a great connection to Sam Hoff, but right in front of him is Jake Gell, the senior out of Huntley High School, makes the grab there.
They throw it away in the clear, but I still, no matter what happens after, that is the save of the game so far. Really nice stop on the doorstep.
Latour subs back in for the Blue Jays. Here is Spence. We'll give it to Latour. Joe Latour, the sophomore out of Sandburg High School. Hernandez near for Ferry. Ferry takes a look at the defense. That is deflected off the noggin of Sam Magoon. Stays with the Blue Jays. Ferry wide once again. Davis. Good first quarter for Landon Davis. Back behind we go for Deal. Deal has been breaking down this Pioneer defense with the foot speed. Hernandez turns, fires. That's deflected on Dean. Looked like Caleb Weir got the stick up to send it away.
Really nice recovery on the double there.
Full head fake. Hernandez loads it up. That is a great find Deal was in all sorts of trouble. And Hernandez, the safety valve on that play. Another holding shot for the Blue Jays.
And it's Hernandez, another guy who can shoot. This time he puts it down low. And Elmhurst has just torn things up. They've got a double-digit lead. This is exactly how you want to roll into the rest of your conference slate. You got Augustana up next. And then, of course, down the road, you know, North Central Carthage won't be easy. You close out with Illinois Wesleyan. You're hoping this is just step one. You keep getting better as the games go on.
Tendo Tom Gooding. Back we go for Troy Vasquez. Hernandez goes back behind the net where Spence will take a look at things. On that last goal by Hernandez, it's so tough as a defender to properly get in the way of something when a guy like Hernandez has all that space around. I showed you on the replay, there was no orange jerseys around Hernandez at all. Full windup and release that time. Hernandez puts that in front of the crease. That's deflected away. Stay with the Blue Jays. 11:25 left to go until the halftime break.
Notice, by the way, 12-plus goal lead generally means a running clock in the second half. It will never be implemented in the first. So we'll get there when we get there. It's still a 10-goal game, but just something to keep in mind if the Blue Jays keep tearing up like they are.
Turning is Latour. Spence. That goes wide back behind the net.
It's a crafty release from Spence. Catches it low, and it's kind of a quick stick move right out of his stick.
Turning and firing. That's wide off of from Sam Hoff. Hoff, a junior out of Woodbury, Minnesota.
Final seconds here. The shot clock. Got to get a look.
Hernandez. How about it? My goodness, Hunter Hernandez. It has just been a downhill game for Hunter Hernandez. Put the pedal down, drive to the net, and fire.
With 1 second left on the shot clock as well. Really nice management on that possession. They got a couple of really good looks, but then on that final one, when they were whistled back into play, they said, hey, we got 8 seconds. We got to work fast. And Hernandez, if you need a fast shot, you know who to call.
4 for Hernandez on 7 shots. 3 for Spence with an assist. 2 goals, 3 assists for Deal. Couple for Landon Davis. 1 for Brandt so far for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Phillips, the lone goal, meanwhile, for the Carroll Pioneers. Meters up ahead. That's deflected away by Gell.
You could see the sideline leaping around. A really good chance for Meters. And as the backup faceoff guy, you really don't get many chances to score.
Yeah, Donovan Meters, a junior out of Wheaton Academy.
That would have been his first of the season.
Hernandez. Back for Spence. Spence will direct the traffic. Wide on the near side. Here's Landon Davis. Davis a couple on the day already. Hernandez, he's met by Gassner. Setting up again are the Blue Jays, this time with Aiden LaGuardia wearing number 15. This is great ball movement. Low shot coming in there. Good stop by Gell as Davis was denied his third.
5th save on 17 shots, but I tip my cap to him still, even though not the percentage he wants, because I'd say 3 of those 5 saves have been ridiculous saves to make. Elmhurst is just making him move.
Raskowski and Caleb Weir back onto this artificial turf surface here at Langhorst for Carroll. And now Weir will head right back off as Luke Bridges will come back in. Here's Zach Zuba, senior out of Vernon Hills, wearing 15. It's a Hare. Or beg your pardon, that's Brady Molson. Bridges wide, and that is taken away. Roman DeAngelis was trying to set up, and the Blue Jays say no way. Beautiful feed inside. Josh Brandt, a reserve for the Blue Jays. He gets his first goal of the season, making it 12-1.
Elmhurst goal by number 19, Josh Brandt. Assisted by number 11, Max Ridenauer.
And how about Ridenauer able to set up that play in transition? He just races upfield. Josh Brandt out in front, really can't miss from there. And Elmhurst once again, it's now a 12-goal game. If they hold this into the halftime, they'll have a pretty speedy second half ahead. Vasquez, speaking of speed.
Pride of Bloomington, Minnesota. His first goal of the year, Josh Brandt, the senior, out of John F. Kennedy High School. Joe Latour back onto the pitch for the Blue Jays.
Spence looks like he's loading up to try to take an isolation here.
Spence will have Cole Phillips on him behind the net. Spence coming up top. Spence turns and fires. And Gell is up to the challenge that time. Now shoulder height for Gell, as he's able to take care of it. Here's Cole Phillips, the junior. Nice connection here to Aiden Click. 5 goals on the season for Click, the freshman out of Brookfield, Wisconsin.
It's a nice clear there for Carroll, but how can he get it set up now? And I would look to the pink head of this stick for Brady Conwell. Try to get him activated.
Conwell driving in on Kushel. Back up top we go. Thought about it for a second there, did Click. Gowell staying with Click right now. Aiden Click, 5 goals, 3 assists on the year. Puts that a little bit high, but into the pocket for Zuba. Nice turn move by Molson. Good collapse on the defense to take that away. That fired and is deflected wide. Roman DeAngelis, no, beg your pardon, that's D. Phillips taking the shot.
And it might have gotten a piece of the post potentially, because they did reset that shot clock. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell from up here, but more time to go. And this has been a really nice possession for the Pioneers. And as soon as I say that,
DeAngelis, there's no such thing as the broadcaster's curse, folks. Just want to let you know that's not a thing that ever happens. It's not possible. Here's Gus Mossman on the pickup and takeaway. He'll connect it to Ridenauer. And let's send it the other way to the Pioneers. 6:46 left to go until halftime.
Yeah, I know my job's to break plays apart, but I completely missed that one. So I'll take the blame for that one, but it is a turnover for Elmhurst. Now they are 9th of this game.
The Blue Jays sideline has been told to stay more in the designated player bench area, not quite so much in the substitution area. Gus Mossman, the freshman out of Kaufman High School. Hernandez. Playing it back for the senior Brandt, who's already gotten in the scorebook today for the first time this season. Spence. Now Deal. Ferry and LaGuardia. Back on for Elmhurst. It's LaGuardia. Nice move by LaGuardia. Gets past one man, but the second will turn him away. That's Gassner coming up to apply a little physical pressure. Spence looking, turning, firing, sidearm shot. Spence, 14-1 Blue Jays. Goodness.
Same thing, different location. Eli Spence, who's been working from the goal line a lot of this game, gets an even better angle this time. You cannot leave him that type of room as he bursts by his defender. And when he is head on with Gale, I don't think one of the nation's leading scorers from last year and now this year will miss on a chance like that.
Eli Spence, the senior out of Snoqualmie, Washington, from Mount Si High School.
We've got a couple of guys from there as well. It's very interesting, the geographic look of these Jays. I mean, you'd expect a D3 school in Chicagoland to have a lot of Chicago guys. Not really the case. Mark Morrell goes all across the country.
A one-hopper into the pocket for Spence, and that shot will be changed. Ricardo Tinoco was trying to pull the trigger. And the Pioneers say it's not going to be that easy for you right in the middle of the D this time, sir.
Yeah, I have not seen Tinoco much this season, having done a good handful of games. You can tell Mark Morrell is starting to rotate in more guys that have not earned that playing time this season.
Picked off by Spence. How about that? Gell was out of the crease, and Spence, perfect one-hopper right there. That looks easy, but it's not.
Well, that was exactly how Ethan Phillips had the lone goal for Carroll. Now sent back right the other way. You got to be careful as a goalie with that clearing pass, especially if you're going to go out of the crease. And the problem there was shown on film.
Five goals and an assist for Spence. Spence had 4 with 3 assists in the 14-7 win against Albion back on Sunday. Deal. Magoon out to defend him. Four and a half left first half. Here's Sam Hoff. Hoff moves the defense around. Back up top for Ferry. Hernandez. That's been his move all game long. Use the foot speed, turn on the defender, and fire it over that left shoulder. Hernandez puts another one in. It is 16-1.
I will say Hernandez has to be a little bit careful with that right hand. You're going to see here on the replay. He shoves off the stick a little bit. If he just does an ounce more of that, that would have been a warding call, but it's a borderline call, and he gets away and fires it home as we will head to a timeout here, 4:13 to go.
So it's 16-1 Elmhurst. We have a timeout. We'll come on back when we resume play. Final 4:13 of the first half coming up after this on the CCIW Network.
I transferred here from College of DuPage. Transferring to Elmhurst from COD has been amazing. It's just such an easy process. Just getting the paperwork done, making sure you have all your credits. It was really important to me too, just because I'm the first in my family to go to college in the United States. So they made sure that I have everything that I need to make sure that I do succeed here. The advice I would give to fellow community college students would be to come visit the campus. There's always students here that know the life and everything that's going on around here. And also plan out your next move with the counselors. What classes you want to take at Elmhurst, or maybe if the better move is to stay and get a couple classes done and then transfer. Really, the counselors are amazing because they're your, one-stop shop to making sure you get everything done in order to succeed at Elmhurst. You come in here and it just feels really comfortable, and you just feel like you're reaching a really great goal in your life.
Mike and Luke back with you here. It is 4:06 to go until halftime. The Blue Jays are in control of this one. First conference game of the year for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, facing off against the Carroll Pioneers, 16-1. And for Coach Mark Morrell, you're number 14 with the Blue Jays. First conference game of the year. I think, folks, on paper, if you write this down, you think the Blue Jays would be the favorite to win this game. But for Coach Morrell, he's got to be thrilled with the attacking mentality that this team came out with. There's no thought about playing down to an opponent today for the Blue Jays.
And we talked about off the air, you were saying how often does this happen where a team that is favorited does exactly what they're supposed to do. It does not happen because you've got a lot of teams that kind of have that, lay off the pedal, ease up, let's try different things. I mean, Elmhurst has tried different rotations, but other than that, it has been the same attack as they have been all over it today.
36 shots for the Blue Jays, resulting in 16 goals. Tendo Gooding. And that will send Gooding off to the bench as Deal will control it near side. He'll go for Sam Hoff.
Harry Moriarty took that face-off, by the way, for the Blue Jays. That's his second he's taken. He's 2 for 2. 4 different guys have taken a face-off for the Blue Jays today.
Sealed off on the far side, so we go to the near for Ferry, and Ferry paid the price but put it in as he took a big hit from what looked like Rodriguez right in the middle, but Ferry did not mind at all. 9 goals, 9 assists coming in for Ferry. Beautiful spin move right in the middle, and that was actually a shot from the keeper Gell that time that Ferry absorbs and puts the ball past him.
Yeah, as a sophomore last year, he had just 8 points. He really wasn't utilized that much. You'd see him on the field from time to time, but man, his usage rate has just skyrocketed into this season, and boy, has he made it pay off. That's going to be a push on Elmhurst. I don't think the Jays will complain. They still have won 16 of 21 at the dot, with Tony Vasquez, who usually takes small, not taking a lot.
There's Bridges working along with Phillips. Phillips, the lone goal scorer for the Pioneers. Tries the bouncer that time, and it goes wide.
And I don't mind that decision to shoot whatsoever, but you've got to have somebody down below X who's there to reach his stick out and win that chase back, win that ball back, because there was nobody down there, and Elmhurst gets the ball back because of that.
And that situation right there, sometimes you see that a team gets down big and they see an opportunity, a window opens for just a moment, they think, well, I've got to get this going real quick, but you wait another couple of seconds, bide your time, and you're going to be a better position team-wise to handle a potential rebound or miss wide or deflection. .228 left to go until the halftime break. Elmhurst with Fisher Sun, 17 goals on the game for the junior out of Davidson High School from Ohio. This will get turned over into the pocket of Razkowski. It goes. Razkowski, a local guy out of beautiful Villa Park, Illinois. Now holding is Molson. Molson, 19 goals, 5 assists for the senior out of Huntley from St. Leo High School. And coming up to say hello to him is Alec Castillo, the junior out of Munster, the former Mustang. Pioneers looking for any kind of opening or advantage they can find. Pass trying to go up top, and stepping right into the middle of that play on defense is Will Conley, the freshman out of South Jordan, Utah for the Blue Jays. There's Tom Gooding. He'll connect to Gowell. Gowell over to the far side for Bryce Horner. A goal and 3 assists for the freshman out of St. Louis, Missouri. Sun once again. Sun driving, Sun firing. That's high. Gal might have deflected that with the top of the stick.
Yeah, looked to have gotten a piece of it.
50 seconds left first half. All Blue Jays through the first 30 minutes.
And it'll be a man up unless they score here. There's a flag thrown on the other half of the field about a good 24 seconds ago.
Horner. This one goes to Landon Davis, and Landon Davis puts that behind Gell, and it is now 17-1.
Definitely one of the better low-to-high shots we've seen in this game, and honestly for the Blue Jays all season, Landon Davis, he's another guy that has really sprouted with the Jays this season. Just completely underhands it, but you see how thrown off Gale is. He's got to bring his stick all the way up near that crossbar. Great placement from Landon Davis.
So 31 seconds left in the half. 18-1 is our score. These numbers go up very quickly, and we are trying to stay right with the ever-increasing score for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Downward strike onto the stick removes the ball from the possession of the Pioneers, and right to work goes, is that Zane Crumley? The sophomore from Dallas, Texas, I believe it is. Yes, Crumley will have the goal. Crumley made that whole thing happen right from the draw.
Nailed it, Mike. He started the play, give and
Elmhurst goal
go.
for number 5,
And a quick release. He catches. It's not exactly a quick stick. He catches, maybe gives himself half of a second to really make sure he's got it in the right point of the pocket, and then fires away.
That's assist number 4 for Brent Deal. Wow.
He has really been active on the playmaking side.
21 seconds remains in the first half.
Maybe one more?
Yeah, plenty of time for several more shots if you're the Blue Jays.
I mean, I haven't looked at the record books. I would not imagine they've scored 20 and a half many other times, if any.
7 seconds left. Now come near side for Latour from Bivens. And there's the horn. We have put 30 minutes of CCIW Conference Men's Lacrosse in the books here from Langhorse Field. And the Elmhurst Blue Jays are in control of this one, 19-1 over the Carroll Pioneers. We'll take a halftime break and we'll come on back for the second half of action. Clock will be running throughout the second half. Huge advantage for the Blue Jays, 19-1 over Carroll. This is Blue Jay Lacrosse right here on the CCIW Network, powered by Suncom.
Welcome to Elmhurst University's 154th Commencement Celebration.
Let us pray that merciful Lord, who began this good work in you, enabling you to use your talents to the fullest.
Graduates, welcome to Commencement Day in this beautiful, comfortable, weatherproof theater, which for today will be Elmhurst University Northeast. Thank you, Scott, for your joyful, heartfelt, welcome leadership and care for the university community. You will be greatly missed, but we wish you all the best in your next adventure.
Robert Jans has served his community and his country with distinction and has been an outstanding supporter of this university and its students.
So my message is, with all these extra years and with your willingness to reach and grow professionally, you each have an outstanding chance of matching and or surpassing my generation achievements.
Judy Morley has served to inspire others through her lifetime of leadership and contributions to the world of business and philanthropy.
To each and every one of you, I want to wish you Godspeed on the journey ahead of you. Go get them, grads.
Alma mater will always be very proud of you. Now go forth and do well.
The world now is too dangerous for anything but truth, and too small for anything but love. Therefore, go into the world with the grace that you have, the strength of this beloved university. Let's go, you guys, come on! Woo!
My name is Joni Ducaye, and I'm the proud mom of a Blue Jay. Ethan Ducaille, a member of the ELSA program here at Elmhurst University. As a young man with autism growing up in Evanston, Illinois, Ethan had choices, but also a lack of choices that his peers also had. And he saw his friends going off to college, but he was unsure about where his path was headed. So upon his graduation from the main program at ETHS, Ethan chose to attend the ETHS transition program. While he was completing the transition program, Ethan grew into the desire to want to attend a university. My husband and I were thrilled about it, but I think that his experience at ELSA has been so much more profound because he really did choose it for himself.
The ELSA program has been around for 20 years, and it was developed by Lou Doty, who had an idea to create a program for students to come to the university that had cognitive disabilities or other differing abilities. There are a lot of unique attributes of the program. The things that I like to see for students and growth have a lot to do with the different activities, the clubs, and organizations that they can be part of, the housing pieces where students can live on campus, and also if they have an interest area, they can take a course, any course on campus, and be able to focus and maybe get an extra certificate in that area. And then we also have a core set of courses where students can expand skills and career, and that's really important as part of our program.
The ELSA program preps students for real-life scenarios that they're going to encounter. They'll do classes like any other degree-seeking student would, and then eventually they're working their way up to career-focused things like they go off into different internships.
A lot of students will have, by the time they graduate, 4 to 6 internships. They start on campus and then they move off campus, so that by the time they graduate, they have a good focus on where they're going to go, ideas on strength areas that they have, and they have good interviewing skills to get jobs.
When students come in as first-year ELSA students, it is their first time being away from their parents, their first time ever being alone. So we provide a lot of support with that transition. Maybe they need help making a time management schedule for their day, or sometimes we can go in and help mediate roommate conflicts.
I think my favorite memories for the ELSA program really have to do with new student orientation. Students come in, it's a little overwhelming. What I see is that sense of belonging after those 3 to 5 days that they've been on campus. It's a special time for students to connect. And by the time they get to that first class, they know people on campus, they know how to get around. It's really fun to see students come in, needing a lot of support and then being very independent by the time they leave.
You know, I had been a mom who was very engaged with his special education in high school. I was at every event, I met every teacher, I knew their cell phone numbers, and that can get a little bit claustrophobic for a young man growing up. And Elmhurst was his place, it was his school, it was his choice. And so when we arrived at that first homecoming, it was like he was showing us his place, and that was one of the first times that had ever happened.
So those growth pieces that we see have to do with self-advocacy and having students be able to make decisions about what they want to do on campus, and they're able to make their own choices and able to change their choices in the future.
Just because a student has a disability doesn't mean they can't go off and go to college or get a job or do different things.
This type of diversity, like cognitive diversity, has helped this university immensely. It teaches people to communicate and think differently because it immerses us in that. And it really teaches us how to treat others.
As he moves forward as an adult with special needs, I could see those glimmers of the opportunity where he was going to make this himself. And I think Elmhurst has played a big role in that.
That growth piece is it's huge to watch, and that's why we like to connect back. We have an alumni group, and they're always welcome to come back to the alumni group and participate.
Being an Elmhurst alumni, I think will always ground him and be a place where he feels that he achieved, he did it on his own, and that he'll be a part of the Blue Jay family.
I transferred here from College of DuPage. Transferring to Elmhurst from COD has been amazing. It's just such an easy process. Just getting the paperwork done, making sure you have all your credits. It was really important to me too, just because I'm the first in my family to go to college in the United States. So they made sure that I have everything that I need to make sure that I do succeed here. The advice I would give to fellow community college students would be to come visit the campus. There's always students here that know the life and everything that's going on around here. And also plan out your next move with the counselors. What classes you want to take at Elmhurst, or maybe if the better move is to stay and get a couple classes done and then transfer. Really, the counselors are amazing because they're your, one-stop shop to making sure you get everything done in order to succeed at Elmhurst. You come in here and it just feels really comfortable and you just feel like you're reaching a really great goal in your life.
19-1 Blue Jays over the Pioneers as we head to the second half of action. It'll be a running clock with the score as it is for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Eli Spence, 5 goals, 1 assist, 5 more for Hernandez in the column. Deal has 2 goals with 4 assists. Landon Davis has 3. Brandt has 2, 1 apiece for Ferry and Crumley for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Laxonen has been kept very clean, 1 against with 4 saves for him. And meanwhile, it will still be Jake Gell for the Pioneers going in the second. And we do have a different keeper, I believe, for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. I believe they've put Sam Hoff wearing number 3 in goal.
Oh my God, is that right?
Nope, there we have a 31, not a 3. It's Harry Hummel. Harry Hummel, the junior out of Center Grove High School from Greenwood, Indiana.
That totally looked like a 3, though.
It did. I was deceived momentarily, but the former Center Grove Trojan, Harry Hummel, will be the keeper for the second 30 minutes, or at least some of it, for the Elmhurst Jays. 19-1, good chance for both sides to try some things out, give some guys a look. For Elmhurst, working is Owen Eckes, a junior out of Xavier High School from Appleton, Wisconsin. Now Landon Davis, he's got, I beg your pardon, that's Fisher's son wearing 29. Ball's on the ground, it's bouncing all around, picked up there by Latour. So Latour holds on to the possession, and point-blank shot is converted there for Owen Eckes, his first of the year for the junior out of beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin. How about 20-0? It's a 20-piece with a side of honey mustard for the Blue Jays today.
And that is just his second appearance as well. Once again, we kind of expected with all the rotation for Elmhurst in this half, the running clock on the move that is not in progress right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if they have to wait a certain amount of time or what that may be, or maybe they just said, hey, let's play more lacrosse. Whatever it may be, but you're going to get a lot of people potentially cashing in on their first goals of the season because these reserve players for Elmhurst are competing with the starting Pioneers.
Keyfavor drives it up ahead. Good job getting in there by Zane Crumpedy, the sophomore, to knock that away. But it goes right back to the Blue Jays. Here's Crumpedy near side for Bryce Horner. Behind the net, it's Fisher's son. And we come back up top for Latour. Still 35 seconds to shoot. That stays wide on the far side. Back to work go the Blue Jays. Fisher's son, the junior out of Hilliard, Ohio. From Davidson High School, 17 goals on the year. Horner works wide on the far side. They'll give it back to Horner. Bryce Horner. That shot is deflected, and it will stay with the Blue Jays.
Horner got a goal against Albion, his first of the season. He was one of many in that game against the MIAA favorite to find their first, and it wasn't like it was a blowout game. You just had midfielders really stepping up. You know, Horner, LaGuardia, as well as Tony Vasquez, even the face-off guy in the most recent game for Elmhurst, was able to find the back of the net. He's usually, if he's on the score sheet, able to find an assist at least in transition off the face-off. But, man, has everybody been cashing in lately?
Racing past Markel Givens is Luke Bridges. The Carroll Pioneers have just really struggled to find any kind of connectivity on offense. Credit the Elmhurst defense and also the way that the Elmhurst offense made this thing academic very early for really just taking Pioneer out of any kind of offense that they would want to run. It's hard to stick with a game plan when it's 7-0 and you've barely had your cup of coffee in the morning.
Also got to give credit to Laxon, and he didn't face the toughest shots in that first half, but leaving this one with an 80% save percentage is quite impressive.
What a save! That's the backup keeper, Harry Hummel, saying, "Keep me in, coach." Up ahead we go off that save. Latour working far side. Horner now for Markel Bivens, wears 26. He's a freshman for these Blue Jays. Aiden LaGuardia, near side for Sam Hoff. Hoff dodging, weaving, tries to put that right in front of the net for Bryce Horner, who is cutting in. There's a shot and a save that comes from Fisher's son.
You know, an observation I'm starting to make is, you know, this atmosphere, this weather is fun to play in when you're playing, but you can tell some of the guys on the sidelines, it has just escalated the amount of heavy jackets that we've seen thrown over as that wind picks up. Not fun to be standing there, but when you're moving, you don't feel it too much.
Bivens is disrupted. That's good physical defense by Caleb Weir.
Yeah, I think just a little bit too much from Mullenhoff on his check. Kind of got tangled up, and that's going to end up with Carroll having possession.
Pioneers go to work. Here's Zach Zuba, the senior. Zuba fires, and that is off the hip of the keeper, Hummel.
Late flag flies, and Zuba trying to get up. He got his earth shaken, but that was a really nice opportunity. Was able to charge ahead, had a good shot location on it. Hummel was just able to move his body over enough to make the stop, but here's the hit. And those ones are the worst, when you follow through and then the contact comes, because there's no way to prepare your body to take that contact. So that one's going to leave you either seeing some stars or having some trouble with mobility right off the rip. And I think that's what's happening here for Zuba, who's got a little bit of a limp as he's walking off, but hoping nothing but the best for him.
That hit comes from sophomore Zane Crumedy out of Green Hill High School from beautiful Dallas, Texas. So Zuba is able to make his way over to the sidelines under his own power.
I'll definitely keep an eye on him, see how he's checked on by the trainer and all. He doesn't seem like he needs too much help right now. Just kind of one of those stunner hits where you're just trying to grasp yourself back in.
Conwell puts it back up top. There's a shot taken by Jake Wright and the save by Hummel again. So with the backup keeper in, Hummel has been put to work here for Elmhurst, and he's been up to the challenge.
Some really nice stops. I mean, if you put a 12 on him, I would not be assuming that's anybody other than Andrew Laxon, and he's matching his pace right now. This is just his third appearance as a keeper in his career. He did not play last year. He had 2 appearances as a freshman, and now here's his first in his junior year. It's pretty cool how he has just gotten right into the thick of it here and has made the saves necessary. That's clearly somebody who I'm sure Mark Morrell would preach really cares about practice and takes it very seriously, because he's seeing all these shots like he's seen them all season.
Markel Bivens on the near side, bringing out the defensive Keegan Phillips on him.
It's an interesting double team over here, but got a switch in the process for Elmhurst.
Bivens takes a couple of looks, doesn't like it. Good foot speed for the freshman Bivens. And his pass is a little bit low and wide of Fisher-Sun.
Yeah, nice little dump away on the man down. Crumity not far from being checked back in, though.
Now Nick White will wait for his teammates to join him. Luke Bridges goes out wide for Brady Molson.
So Carroll doesn't get a man-up goal here, but I will tip my cap. They've really increased in a lot of numbers from last year to this year. For example, their man-up to 24% instead of 20% last year. And how about the face-offs? I mean, you could tell Jake Wright has really stepped it up, as this team as a whole, 33.9% on the face-off last year, up to 45.5%. And for a 3-8 team, that is really good.
Conwell with the shot, and Hummel adds another save to his total here in the second half. Landon Davis for the Jays. 2 goals already on the day for Landon Davis. Elmhurst, no need to be in a hurry right here. The Jays will be at Augustana coming up next Saturday. Nice drive and a shot, Joe Latour. Sophomore out of Orland Park will put another one back into the back of the net. It's 21-1.
And he's one of the higher goal scorers you see that will score a goal in this half for Elmhurst. On one of the higher midfield lines, and his guys get it done there.
So for Latour on the day, his first goal of the day, he on 3 shots.
Quick note, by the way, that Augustana matchup you mentioned, that'll be interesting because Elmhurst will be playing that program for the first time in 2 years. Augustana had to suspend their season last year, but they're not looking bad so far this year.
Chaos.
Nice
in
little
the
flip.
middle third and flip forward. Here's Bryce Horner. There's not been much at all in the midfield in this game. It broke open a little bit for a moment. And it goes right back to what we've seen for most of the day, which is Elmhurst controlling it and picking their spots.
There's a long conversation going on right now. Now it just separated. Gabe Perlman was talking to the near side official. I'm not sure what about. Seemed to have wanted a call because that one goes wide.
Bouncer on the ground as Fisher-Sun was trying to put that on frame. Here's Bivens. Back up top we go for Latour. Bivens will take a shot, and that seemed to just go right through the wickets of Gell. And Markel Bivens will score it.
That's Bivens' first of the season right there.
And for the freshman, his first college goal will make it 22-1.
Assisted by number 4, Joe Latour.
It's a fun day for the Blue Jays. for some of these guys, these youngsters who get in and get the chance to take some shots, really get sustained game action for the first time, and it's fun for the vets too. It's fun for the starters to watch these guys that they spend a lot of time with, hang out and practice with, work with every day, see them get to go out there and put some of the stuff they've been working on all year into practice.
I mean, let me tell you, from being in their shoes, of course not at this level, I never played college, but as a freshman in high school, we'd really only get in near the end of the games when, it was pretty lopsided, and you didn't really care about what that score was. You wanted to make a statement for yourself. You wanted to make yourself proud. You want to make your teammates proud. You want to make sure that appearance feels worth their time to bring you into that game, and all of these reserves today for the Blue Jays are doing just that. I mean, you just see them move the ball around the perimeter. They look like they've been playing together for years. There's not many guys with a shoot-first mentality. They're just giving it around and waiting for the right opportunity.
30 seconds on the shot clock as Horner's got it near side. Back behind, that's Fisher's son. Turns to his left, fires. That might have hit the post on the far side. Bivens trying to chase it down. It'll stay a Blue Jay ball. Fresh 60, yep. With the fresh 60, that did hit the post far side.
Yeah, and that's the fourth shot by Sun, but no goals. And I think that's why Mark Morell's keeping him out there, because he's not usually with this attacking line, but I think they're just trying to get some confidence back into Sun, who's been quiet the last couple of games.
Owen Eckes, he got his first of the season a little bit earlier. He wears 18 for the Blue Jays in the white. Horner looking for room. 30 seconds left again. Latour says, "How do you do?" to a Blue Jay defender. Talk about some of these guys who don't play a lot of minutes, getting in and making an impact. And for a guy like Latour, 5 goals, 2 assists, this is a sophomore who is in the rotation.
Oh, yeah, he plays plenty. I think they're just using him on more of an offensive case today because he's on both sides, but he's getting a lot more looks than he usually does.
Yeah, when you've got options like Spence and Hernandez and some others for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, 2 saves by Gell. Can he make the third? He can. They try to make the outlet, but they're going to blow this one dead as it's Bivens down on the ground. That's a good job by Gell, keeping his head on a swivel, handling a lot of different vectors that ball was working at.
Yeah, and he
right
just
in front of him.
He literally just got his welcome to college lacrosse moment and got right back up after previously scoring his first goal.
And for a guy like Latour, yeah, when you've got shooters and passers of the caliber that Elmhurst has, a guy like Spence, who has 25 assists coming in, along with those 34 goals, which is now full 39, as basic math continues to be a struggle for me.
It's the weekend, you're good.
Yep.
Could take it off.
Gives a guy like Latour the chance to run the offense and play a different role than he normally is expected to. It's one thing to get a little bit of burn. It's another thing to know that the whole shift is going to be yours, and that your role for the rest of the game is going to be a little bit bigger than it normally is. Mm-hmm. Those are the kind of things that can build comfort and confidence, especially for an underclassman like Latour, the sophomore. Nice connection there. Good catch by McNamara. Jack McNamara, he's a freshman out of Notre Dame Prep. Now we go back to Luke Bridges. Bridges will play catch with Conwell.
Flag is down. I did not catch what that was for.
Shot is fired by Molson. That looked like it was deflected by Hummel, the keeper. Looks like it will stay with the Pioneers. It will. 1:40 left in the third quarter. It was breezy to start our women's men's doubleheader. I think it has officially become windy out there.
Yeah.
As we go along. And the wind is currently blowing from left to right across your television screen or digital device of some kind.
So they got Bivens on a 30-second hold there, so not too much time to kill, but this Carroll Manup has been improving, as we mentioned. A good chance to try to showcase it in a small amount of time.
Nick White will go for Bridges, and Elmhurst, great job timing that attack on defense for the Blue Jays. Almost dislodged it, but Brady Molson stays with it. Molson, 19 goals, 5 assists. And we have not said his name all that much today for the Pioneers as their offense has been shut down. Ferry up ahead. He's got Bivens running with him. Goal line extended. This will come back up top, and Bivens takes a great feed and scores his second of the day. I think they got Horner on the assist there.
Sure did, and Bivens, I don't know if he meant to do this, but he almost kind of spikes it into the turf. The follow-through is very heavy, so it's going to result in this ball to bounce really high up off the turf to that top right corner. Just kind of see by the initial reaction, it was, oh, all right. And then he points to Horner and said, thanks for setting me up.
Yeah, Bivens, just that left hand on the stick the whole way. Looks like it struck perhaps the bottom of the stick and just fired right down into the goal. Brandon Pfaff took the face-off that time for the Blue Jays.
And he's not even listed as a face-off guy.
Brady Razkowski has it for the Pioneers. He will play it back. And now here's Caleb Turwin in an attacking mode, but it's immediately turned over. Here's Crumedy. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Fisher's son.
Yeah, I'm watching some of the leaves blow by at quite some speed. You can tell, even by the whipping of the jerseys from the wind, that it is aggressive now.
Bivens tried to find Son. That's knocked down and taken away and flung forward by Razkowski as the horn sounds. And the third quarter comes to an end. 23-1 Elmhurst over Carroll. CCIW conference action will continue when we come back on the CCIW network powered by Suncom.
Welcome to Elmhurst University's 154th Commencement Celebration.
Let us pray that merciful Lord, who began this good work in you, enabling you to use your talents to the fullest.
Graduates, welcome to Commencement Day in this beautiful, comfortable, weatherproof theater, which for today will be Elmhurst University Northeast. Thank you, Scott, for your joyful, heartfelt, welcome leadership and care for the university community. You will be greatly missed, but we wish you all the best in your next adventure.
Robert Jans has served his community and his country with distinction and has been an outstanding supporter of this university and its students.
So my message is, with all these extra years and with your willingness to reach and grow professionally, you each have an outstanding chance of matching and or surpassing my generation achievements.
Judy Morley has served to inspire others through her lifetime of leadership and contributions to the world of business and philanthropy.
To each and every one of you, I want to wish you Godspeed on the journey ahead of you. Go get them, grads.
Fourth quarter is on. Glad you're with us. I'm Mike. That's Luke. Happy Easter to you, everybody. Looking forward to a great Easter Sunday tomorrow. Hope you are as well. New keeper for the Elmhurst Blue Jays with this 23-1 lead is freshman Jack Vasterling out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota from Woodbury High School. Vasterling will get his first action of the season. And meanwhile, it will be Jake Gell continuing on for the Carroll Pioneers. A note for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, all-time single-game scoring record is 27, so 28 puts a new mark in the scorebook for the Blue Jays as they have been in complete control of this one.
And this will be the first career start for Vasterling as well. Freshman.
Raskowski sends that back to his keeper, Gell. Gell was maybe not quite ready for that high pass from Raskowski as the Pioneers were flirting with danger back in their own third. Tough check out of bounds, and Pioneers sending some fresh legs in.
Vasterling's hometown of Cottage Grove, Minnesota, the same as Tony Vasquez, the face-off guy that you will not see for Elmhurst in this one, but you will see in the future, the starter who was an All-American honorable mention last year as a junior.
Bevins over for Fisher's son. Up top we go for Brady Eckes. LaGuardia back for Markel Bivens, or beg your pardon, there's Fisher's son.
I think this could be Fisher's son's quarter to really get going here. Got to get it down to X, though. Step one completed. You kind of see him just like Eli Spence did back in the corner. When he's ready to load up, he's ready to go, and he's trying to win that isolation here.
Sizes up, turns, great turn, and good step by Gell. Gell with an aggressive move towards Fisher's son. The ball came out low, and Gell was able to put the stick on it. So Gell up top, seen both teams take advantage of intercepted outlet passes. This time the Pioneers connect it forward to Jake Kaposis, the senior out of Omaha, Nebraska.
It's pretty funny, the slow expansion of jerseys, as you're going to see here on the turnover, or the slow expansion of jackets. Look at it now on your screen. Yeah. Everybody who's not playing says, give me one of those.
Well, we're in that stage of spring where it's very deceptive. You see a little sunlight, you see, oh, it's 58 degrees today, but it's a cold 58 when it's 58. And then that sun starts getting a little low in the sky, and 42 comes right back into play.
Yep, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. I went to plenty of spring games last year where it's just once that sun sets on the 6:40 p.m. start time, you realize that you underdress, and I think that's what some of these players are going through right now.
I have been enjoying the start of the MLB season quite a bit. Early season baseball is always an entertaining sport, whether it's the finesse and the highlights or the opposite of highlights.
Yeah. Getting the rhythm sequences.
I'm a Wisconsin native, so I'm thrilled to see the Brewers off to a fantastic start this year. Working in the Chicagoland area, I meet a lot of Cubs fans. Don't worry, I'm amenable.
I was going to say, you're one of the few Brewers fans that I can tolerate so far.
Okay, good.
It's good when I can't tell you're a Brewers fan, so I give you credit. You're a nice fellow.
I left the Brewers cap at home.
I went to a Brewers Diamondbacks game, as we're going to have a time out here. But, you know what, we'll just keep you here, Billy. Are we cool with just keeping us here? I have a pretty funny story. I went to a Brewers Diamondbacks game, and I wore Cubs gear just because it's enemy territory. You wouldn't catch me repping that. And it was a Brewers, I don't know if it was a walk-off win, I forget. It was a really thrilling game against Arizona. And I'm walking my way down the stairs, and some guy walks, some kid, probably 17, 18 years old, just walks by me and goes, "Take that, Cubs fan!" I was like, my team didn't lose. What are you talking about? I mean, congrats on the win, but I didn't really say anything back. I just kind of let him have his moment.
I have a Brewers Diamondbacks story of my own.
Really? Okay.
I went to a Brewers Diamondbacks game, and I watched Randy Johnson hit one of his 2 major league home runs in his career.
So you're older than me, you're saying?
Yes, slightly.
I was watching Jacob Mizorowski for reference.
Boy,
Man, getting to see Randy Johnson live, that's cool.
Yeah, that was definitely one I wanted to check off. But I lived in Milwaukee for 8 years, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and yeah, Brewers games in person were a great memory of that time. I live pretty close to the White Sox stadium nowadays, so
yeah.
I try to make a couple of White Sox games every year. Maybe get up to American Family Field. I want to call it Miller Park still because old-fashioned.
Right. And even I'm that way. I was a kid that always, obviously there's the Comiskey people, but I always knew it as U.S. Cellular with my age, so I still say it that way, but
it's still the Sears Tower right downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Pioneers going to work. Shot and a save.
First collegiate stop.
Jack Vasterling rises to the occasion.
How about that? I mean, Hummel, Laxonen, and him have not only come into the game, but they've also made statements. Got some really good numbers all around, and combined at the moment, the Jays have stopped 9 of 10 shots on frame from the Pioneers. That is impressive.
11 minutes left in regulation. We're talking baseball. It has been that kind of an afternoon. The Blue Jays men's team making it a split day as it went 16-2 in favor of the Pioneer women in their first conference matchup of the year.
It's not often you have the women's game that goes in the way of one school by a good margin, and then the men's game, it's just completely flipped. I'd like to know how many of those series there are in the country.
Eckes comes back up top. Latour will rip it, and that's wide on the far side.
Took some contact after. Got up.
Carroll at Elmhurst here. Augustana is at Carthage. North Central at Illinois Wesleyan is your conference slate of action on the men's side today.
I do want to check in on that Illinois Wesleyan game. You know, here at Elmhurst, I don't think they like them too much.
Other finals on the women's side, Carthage dispatches Augustana 18-zip, and Illinois Wesleyan survived North Central 16-12. That's women's lacrosse scores finals from earlier.
Oh, wow. North Central's up 3-2 right now on the Titans. They are 1-9 on the season. Wesleyan is 7-4. So that is an interesting start.
A little flip pass that time to Kaposis. Kaposis sees a one-on-one matchup. He's going to drive. He'll play for DeAngelis. Roman DeAngelis. Looking for any kind of room. There's not been a lot of seams, driving lanes, or anything of the sort, as that one's going to get out of here, gone for Brady Conwell.
That was a really interesting release. I think he just turned his stick head at the wrong moment, and instead it went flying into the air.
Right in front, and another good stop that time. Jack Vasterling has played some alert goalie here in the fourth quarter.
If not a save, it might have been deflected by the defensive stick, just straight up stopping that play. But one way or another, Vasterling was ready for the competition to come his way. I mean, all of these Elmhurst keepers have been really good about covering that post, making sure it's sealed off.
Bivens over on the far side for Bryce Horner. Horner back for Fisher's son. Bivens, good pass back up top for Aiden LaGuardia. LaGuardia, the Colorado native, wearing 15. Son, good pass to Bivens. Bivens turns and fires. How about that for freshman Markel Bivens?
You know, you got to take your hat and throw it on the field now, Mike.
Is that a hat trick for Bivens?
Sure is. He has been unbelievable. just looks confident out there.
29, Fisher,
and you usually don't get that from a reserve player, but...
And that is the kind of thing that, especially for a freshman, not only just getting a little bit of time, but getting sustained time.
That's 3 goals on 3 shots, too. That's accuracy.
You'll get into that rhythm. That confidence will start going up. Fisher's son will get the assist. Son came in 17 goals, 1 assist on the year.
Yeah, he's usually the scorer, but out here he's been more the facilitator with one of the lower attack lines, just setting up a chance for everybody.
Evans once again, they'll move through LaGuardia to the near side. This game, I think, for both sides, as it gets colder and a little bit darker and a little bit later, this game has gotten a little bit slower for both of these teams out here.
Having that stick out, slashed out of your hands in this type of breezier day will not exactly feel the greatest.
Oh, any contact around the hand or wrist today is going to, that's going to stick with you all the way well into classes Tuesday or Wednesday.
I frown thinking about it. Always kind of, it's a blessing, but it's not to start lacrosse season so early. When you look at some of those February games and you're playing in snow, for heck's sake. It's not one of those games, at least. We got to be grateful, right?
Absolutely. Here's Click putting it back for Conwell.
I think the game I did against Lake Forest, it was like 35 and ringy. Yeah. Elmhurst won it. That was at least nice, but the weather was not.
Kaposis tried to one-hop it. That would have been wide, but Vasserling decides to slow it down anyway. Under 6 to play.
And they're making a goalie sub on the fly. I've
Yes,
never seen that before. And Ryan Gatto will come in, the sophomore.
So Gatto from beautiful Bel Air, Texas, seeing his first action. 4th keeper used today for Coach Morella and the Elmhurst Blue Jays, and why not?
I've seen a lot of new things today.
Augustana on Saturday next at Augustana. Colorado College at home on the 16th. Some Friday evening primetime non-conference lacrosse. Your next home game for these Elmhurst Blue Jays. Sun. Oh my goodness, what a shot by Sun. We're going to need the replay on that. Sun working all the angles and vectors there. Beautiful hop.
It's got to feel good for Sun. That's his 7th shot of this game. And many at better angles than this one, but it's that wraparound look. You get the step out from Galen, whether it's been past his side or down low in between his legs. They have just found openings no matter where they are on the field, and that was well done by the 6'5" Fisher Sun.
Passed up ahead from Tinoco. Sun will go back for Bryce Horner as we're under 5 to play now. 25-1.
Crease violation, yeah, I don't know if Tom Gooding got shoved or he just flat out fell. My view was a little restricted, but one way or another, he ended up in that crease, so turnover.
Turnovers are about the only number you don't absolutely love if you're a Blue Jays fan. 14 of them. Pioneers have had 21. That number was a little bit closer.
They've been better
on when it was the 18s for both sides.
Yeah, they've been better as the game has gone on. I remember it was, 7 at the end of the first. That's where you've got your starters out there and you turn over the ball 7 times. That's got to be frustrating. But I think the reserves have been pretty good with the ball. There's nothing I've seen that's, hey, why are you doing that? I mean, most of the turnovers are mostly excused.
Conwell.
Ooh, hockey shot.
Look, trying to make anything out of anything was Kaposis there.
Gatto took a hard hit, and that's going to be a flag on Conwell.
Yeah, Conwell can't believe it. Conwell, the classic Tim Duncan, 2 arms up in the air. How on earth could you call that on me?
I mean, he's got a point. He more got the hip area there of Gatto, and I don't want to say this is why, but I think if Gatto's holding a player stick, they might have let that play on. I think it's since he's the goalie and deep, that's of course not a rule to go easier on that, but it just wasn't exactly necessary. It might have just been too much, especially at this point of the game, so the officials are just trying to keep the game safe, that's all.
Luke, I say it over and over, too, is that when you are on an island with an opposing player and there is a ref staring directly at you.
That's true.
The margin for error gets very, very small as to what you are able to get away with.
It's a great point.
They can't be looking right at you. If you want to make your point, make it in traffic, make it in the flow of the game. But if you get on an island with someone, maybe settle that score later. Latour back for LaGuardia. A shot by Hoff and a save by Gell.
That was really nice ball movement. They were working the perimeter so much that Carroll eventually kept ball watching and they left the middle open.
LaGuardia out, double eights Sean Cherry in for the Blue Jays. Cherry, the sophomore out of beautiful LaGrange, Illinois, just down the road.
Haven't seen Cherry get in that much this season. He got a little bit of time last game.
D. Phillips will turn it over. And now a whistle. It looks like it will go back to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they looks like they got a call there on Oscar Clark, who's going to sit for 30.
So Clark, the sophomore out of Seattle, Washington, will take the next 30 seconds off, so the Pioneers will go back to work now. D. Phillips.
They end up calling that a cross check on Clark.
Bridges. The shot and the score for Brady Conwell.
Well, that's a way to get your get back. As Conwell went to the penalty area for that hit on Gatto. Didn't like the call. Next time he got his ball in his stick from an angle like that, put it right by the goalkeeper.
Carroll goal by number 79, Brady Conwell. Assisted by number 23.
And once again, for the 9th straight game, Brady Conwell has multiple points. Or no, does he? Let's check that, because Phillips had the first goal and Conwell did not get the assist. So that is his first point. So if this result stands, it will be his first time since February 21st that he has been held without multiple points. But he's got a point in 9 straight games.
Yeah, it was Bridges with the assist on that first one. So goal apiece for Phillips and Conwell with an assist for Bridges so far in the stat book for these Pioneers. 2:15 left. Sam Hoff back into the action for the Blue Jays, wearing number 3. No one will be in any particular hurry for the final seconds of this one. LaGuardia took a few seconds off. Now he'll start the engines, work it over to the far side. LaGuardia matched up against Rodriguez. Rodriguez will stay with him. Shot clock to 15. Turning and firing LaGuardia. That one didn't really come out of the pocket. Over the top of him goes Kelly Gassner.
Yeah, they got a call there on Carroll. Not enough for a flag, but It'll be Blue Jay ball and shot clock will reset, so you can nearly air out the rest of this game if you want. If you're Elmhurst, there will be 14 seconds left over. Wouldn't expect them to do anything crazy.
Stay tuned after the game for a long and rather one-sided scoring summary in a 25-2 game, and then we'll name a player of the game for the Elmhurst side and wrap things up. Fun Saturday of action here from Langhorst Field. Really like what's going on here at Langhorst. Talked a bit about the renovations they're doing during the women's broadcast, but folks, if you haven't been out here to Langhorst, make sure to come join us. Next home game is the 16th against Colorado College, a 7:30 p.m. start. So some primetime lacrosse. Bring your warm weather gear, as you'll most likely still need it.
Yeah, Colorado College played Illinois Wesleyan really well early in the season. I think the Titans won that game by 1, but just a test of how tough that team will be from the West.
Time is running down, and we're going to have a final here. It's going to go 25-2 in favor of the Elmhurst Blue Jays. So with the win, the Blue Jays 9-2 on the season, 1-0 in CCIW conference play, with a matchup at Augustana coming up next Saturday. With the loss, the Carroll Pioneers now 3-9 on the season, 0-1 in CCIW conference play. Coming up next for them is at home against Illinois Wesleyan on Saturday the 11th.
I mean, what's nice for the Pioneers is that they're getting their really tough opponents out of the way. It's going to be a little demoralizing here for this 25-2 loss. Illinois Wesleyan, I would suspect them to lose that game to the Titans. But from then on, you have some really beatable opponents down the line, and Gabe Perlman will try to get some conference wins in the category for Carroll.
Here's your scoring summary. At 12:36, Eli Spence assisted by Brent Deal. At 11:04, Hunter Hernandez unassisted. Then Deal unassisted at 10:39. Landon Davis unassisted at 9:51. Josh Brandt at 9:49. How about that for a quick succession of goals? And then Hernandez puts cherry on top of the first quarter with the assist to Spence. 6-0 Elmhurst after 1. It was Carroll getting the first goal, or beg your pardon, we keep on going in the first quarter. I forget how much we had in that first quarter.
Right?
My battle with reading continues. Ethan Phillips gets the goal unassisted for Carroll, and then at 2:03, or at 5:51, Brent Deal answers back. 2:03, then Landon Davis, and then at 32 seconds, Eli Spence, and at 19 seconds, Spence again. And then we move to the second quarter. The score was already 10-0 at that time. Hunter Hernandez assisted by Deal at 12:11. At 10:39, Hernandez unassisted. At 8:42, Brandt assisted by Ridnour. At 5:27, Spence unassisted. At 4:40, Spence unassisted. Hunter Hernandez unassisted at 4:06. Ferry unassisted at 3:22. And then Landon Davis assisted by Horner at 2:24 seconds. And at 4 seconds left, Zane Crumity assisted by Brent Deal. We were 19-1 at halftime. In the second half, at 13:45 in the third quarter, Eckes assisted by Horner. Latour unassisted at 6:15 in the third. Markel Bivens, his first of the hat trick, assisted by Latour at 4:59 in the third. Markel Bivens again assisted by Horner at 48 seconds in the third. And then in the fourth, Markel Bivens puts the hat on it, 7:42 with Fisher Sun on the assist. And then Fisher Sun gets his first and only goal of the game, assisted by Horner at 4:57. And at 2:27, Brady Conwell, assisted by Luke Bridges, makes it 25-2 with the second mark in the book for the Carroll Pioneers. For Elmhurst, 5 goals and an assist for Spence, 5 goals for Hernandez, 2 with 4 assists for Deal. I think either of them would make a good player of the game, and Luke, I'll let you make the final call on that one.
Man, I mean, I look down this line. I think if Eli Spence stays in this game the entire time and gets to go full throttle, he might have left with a dozen goals. Like, I give my credit to him. I'm going to go with Bivens here. I just think because of the situation, coming in after not playing all season and scoring 3 goals.
On 3 shots.
On 3 shots, right? That is the most impactful thing of this game that truly is to me. If I could give it to a group of guys, I'm going with the keepers. 10 out of 12 stopped. I mean, you got Vasterling, Hummel, who combined for 6 saves, no goals allowed. Everybody did a great job.
So Markel Bivens, your player of the game. For the keeper numbers, Gell goes 60 minutes, 25 against with 14 saves. Laxon plays the first half, 1 against with 4 saves. Vasterling, none against with 3 saves in 9:24. Hummel plays the entire third quarter, none against, 3 saves. And Gatto finishes things off with the final 5 and change, 1 against, no saves. There you go. That is a blowout in favor of the Blue Jays, 25-2. For everyone here at Elmhurst College, for Luke Jordan, producer Bill, Greg Gorm, our great sports information director, I've been Mike Fleischman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a happy Easter weekend, everybody, and we will see you next time right here on the CCIW Network, powered by Suncom.